Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. And we welcome back our multifaceted, Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and performer, who, by the way, welcomes you to Open every morning in our opening bumper. That's right, the Miss YaYa, sister friend. She's touring worldwide as the lead vocalist of legendary salsa fusion group DLG, and to working on projects with the likes of Colombia's leading arranger and percussionist Diego Galé, as well as Puerto Rico's Grammy Award-winning pianist Marlo Rosado. And currently, she's touring as a featured vocalist with Neil Berg's 50 years of rock and roll and 100 plus years of Broadway as a musical theater performer. Miss YaYa has starred in shows such as West Side Story and Hair, and most recently on Your Feet, the story of Gloria and Emilio Estefan, where she plays the role of Gloria Fajardo. So Miss YaYa's sounds fuses tropical sounds with taste of R&B, hip hop, jazz, and reggae. And I know I gave you a mouthful there, but I really can't wait to hear what she has in store for us today, mi gente. So joining us to share more, we welcome back to Open Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter and performer, I should say, Miss YaYa.
Hi, Rena. Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure coming back to the BronxNet family and being in your aura, because you have energy that is uplifting, and yo no voy a llorar.
This you came on saying que tú no ibas a llorar.
I get so happy being here with you. It's just your energy that you put out into the world, into the community, it's much needed and much appreciated, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh, I feel you so deeply right now, and I'm so touched by the fact that you're struggling with holding back tears.
What? I thought I was doing a good job.
Yeah, no, but I'm really touched by that because
dag nabbit.
I know. I'm not even gonna do it to me because I adore you. I'm so proud of everything that you've chosen to go towards and go forth with, because I know it's been challenging, right? As a female artist who has worked with labels and having to navigate that industry, and the fact that you diversify your portfolio in the way that you do.
You have to.
It's really admirable.
You have to as a creative. You really have to, because when you're not getting calls as a singer, okay, what's next? What do you love to do? I love to act. I love to do musicals. I love to host circus. So it's, as a creative, it's all about how can you bring joy to people while also bringing joy to yourself, because we got to get it out. If we don't, we will go crazy.
Right, and that's the sign of a true artist and creative, right? Because here's the thing. Unfortunately, we are living in a society where most people are just seeking the fame and the glory.
I don't want the fame. I almost had it with being on a reality show, and it freaked me out. I just want to do what I love and not feel unsafe walking alone in the streets.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it matters. It matters. It's like a certain level of fame. It's like, yeah, I like being recognized for my work, but I don't know if I want paparazzi following me around all the time and people wanting to take pictures with me all the time. And I know you know what that feels like. I know what that feels like. But by the same token, it's really a matter of everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation. And that's its own animal altogether. I experienced it a little bit with an event I just recently did with Amara La Negra.
And love her.
We did a lot of photos together, and I looked at this.
She knows. She gets it.
A lot.
She gets all that paparazzi.
Yes.
Can't walk down the street.
Yeah.
She's a force.
Yeah, and at that point, I just whispered in her ear. I was like, wow, this is something, because I was with her. Yeah, I was on the stage with her, so I was there taking the photos with her, But to your point is really like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Where's the balance?
Yeah.
Right. And so going back to what we were discussing earlier, as far as just diversifying, having all of these, having all of your talents exercised, right? And just pulling them out, like, or pulling them off the shelf when you see fit, right? Because not only is it for them, it's for you too,
Yeah.
because you're allowing yourself to just be all of you.
Yeah. And it's not just being on stage like Nico. Nico's a playwright. He's a poet. He needs to write that. He needed to put that book out because it will drive us insane.
Right.
The Power Up friends, like, they
Right.
needed to get that out because they saw a need, and also it makes them feel good. So it's just, being a creative is not just singing and acting. It's anything that you take the time to create that brings joy to others, but also brings you joy.
Right, and you know what? I think we all, if everyone were able to find their purpose, we would be a much happier society.
Like a doctor needs to be a doctor. An engineer needs to be an engineer. It doesn't have to be fame and fortune. It's just what makes you happy, what serves the world. It's all reciprocity. It's all full circle.
I love the word reciprocity. It's my favorite word.
Thank you,
and
Lauryn Hill, for teaching it to me.
It's my favorite word, and we definitely need to exercise it organically. Because that's my newest, latest word is organic reciprocity. Right, but
Coin it.
Yeah,
Coin it.
Coin it. Okay, you heard it here. You heard it here. Anywho, no, but we're here to talk about you and your journey.
Forgot about that.
And I know we can get into the philosophy and sit here and talk about it, and I'm sure you guys are really benefiting from it because again, we do need to have more of these conversations. However, I do want them to reacquaint themselves with you, even though we've had you on in the past, and I already mentioned to everybody that you are part of the bumper, the introduction. You get to see Miss YaYa on a regular
That was
basis.
another great show. But every show is a great show, so
Yeah,
grateful.
But I just love that.
Thank you.
It remained part of our culture, our weekly culture for years now. Because how many years ago was that?
Oof, that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
That was at least 2019, 2018. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look, estamos igualita.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
We haven't aged anything.
No.
But we're going to talk about the fact that now you're okay. So I already introduced to everybody that you have been touring with Neil Berg's, right? You do rock and roll, which I think is so cool.
I love
So
it. I
cool.
get to sing songs. There's 5 vocalists, and I get to do Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Big Mama Thornton. I love that because it's theater. It's a theater concert that we put on.
And so then you do that like periodically.
Yeah, throughout
right?
the year.
Right.
So like I said, so when they're not calling, hay que hacer otra cosa.
Right. And then you also did On Your Feet. I remember when you were rehearsing for that.
Oh, that was amazing. It was my first time back at musical theater in like 20 years. And it was the first time I did 8 shows a week, 4 weeks in a row. And I was like, I need to take care of myself because I need to knock out these 32, 36 shows because we didn't have understudies.
Oh my gosh, that's pressure.
It's pressure, but it was exhilarating to really get back into that discipline and manifest being on Broadway because it was a regional theater production in Florida. And manifesting being on Broadway is like, you got to get back into the discipline.
Yeah, and not only that, you have to be able to get up and do it all over again. I did an off-Broadway show last year, and
Yes.
that was rough. That was rough. It was rough for me because, I was like, ooh, and that was only Thursday through Sunday.
And then all the other stuff that you're doing that you have to balance.
Yeah,
at
but
the
I'm
same
talking
time.
about the fact that your body has to be conditioned to be on in this particular way.
Rest goes along.
No understudy.
Scheduling rest is of the utmost importance because without that, you can spiral and think like, I can't do this. And rest, so simple, but so necessary.
Yeah, and then there's also the respect that we have to offer these individuals who basically do that for a living on a regular basis.
Oh my God, the ensemble, the dancers, they carry the show. They're on stage from beginning to end, and I'm like, listen, que Dios te bendiga, because that's not easy.
Oh my gosh.
But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, and it was just an amazing experience.
And so in your learning process, in your continual evolution, in your redesign, your innovation, you've now decided to basically come back to salsa.
Always.
Right, but I'm saying with your own like movement, right? Because it's Latin jazz, salsa. I know that it's still all in development, and we're gonna get a taste of it. But let's talk a little bit about that before we talk about this new hit that you are part of with
Yes.
K7 and
My Verse.
My Verse.
So what do you want to start with first?
We'll start with the salsa because I've been watching you like pretty much taking the reins and coming up with your own label. Like you're not playing.
No, I'm not playing. No, I've had my company since 2011, where I've been putting out singles on my own because we live in an age where we can self-publish books. We can
Right.
put out our own music.
Right.
And so I've been taking advantage of that as an independent solo artist. And yeah, I just like being in control of my stuff. I like owning all my music. I like saying that I paid for this and nobody can say I owe them anything. It's a bigger level of respect for yourself,
Right.
to be able. It's a lot of work.
Right.
It's not easy.
Right.
Money is not falling from the sky.
Right.
I still have to work and to pay for the stuff.
Right.
Pero, yeah, I'm very grateful to be able to be an independent artist. And as a salsa artist, specifically with this song, Y Dicen Que, I, after being part of DLG and trying to go out on my own, people were always saying, you know, maybe you should do something else, some other genre. Because you can hear the influences of when I grew up listening to jazz, listening to gospel music, salsa, merengue, bachata, cumbia, de todo. And so I want to do salsa. And so I wrote this song, Y Dicen Que, as a way to say, like, stop telling me I can't do it, that I'm
Right.
not supposed to.
Right.
I'm doing it. Enjoy it. There are other people too that are doing it with me. I'm not the only one here trying to carry the torch. And respect it, because la salsa vive y va a seguir.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, but I just love that you've just chosen, like, with all your might. I don't know, there's just something, I've been following your career for quite some time now, but there's just something about this new project that really, it encompasses, like, all of your abilities. Like, you've chosen to go, you know what, I'm going to put it all in.
The thing with salsa is that when it first started in the 50s, 60s, 70s, it was a fusion of music of the time. And so when DLG came out, I was a huge fan, because now it's a new fusion of music of the time. And music has evolved and continues to evolve, and Latin music has evolved over the years, where you see like reggaeton infused in salsa music. And so salsa I love because it evolves. It's always evolved since its inception. And the roots of it, I'm Dominican Puerto Rican. It has el tambor, timbal, bass, brass. Like, I just love having a big band behind me and seeing people having a great time and dancing, because you can't stand still when you listen to salsa.
Oh, no.
Try.
Trust me,
I
I'm
wanna see
looking
you
forward
try.
to having a hard time standing still over there when you perform for us in our open artist spotlight. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, no, you're gonna be dancing.
Oh,
We're
you
gonna be
know I am.
dancing.
You know I am. You know I am. But before we run out of time, I also want to talk about this new collaboration with K7 and My Verse.
K7, my brother from another mother. I've known K since the early 2000s. Was a huge fan of TK.
So I just want to interrupt you really quickly, just by saying, because in case he watches, I want to shout out. I grew up with Casey. I grew up with KL.
In
KL,
yes.
okay?
In the neighborhood.
Well, yes, teenagers. So I just wanted to put that in there,
Wow.
por si acaso.
Oh, so you know him from maybe his like knucklehead days.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Oh,
From
no,
before.
he seems like he was a good kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Dique.
That's family talking right there. That's family
Yeah,
talking.
actually, since the evolution of TK.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, I was a huge fan.
Since the inception of TK, I should say. Not the evolution, the inception.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, but no, we're not talking about. I just wanted to give him a plug. Por si
Kay.
acaso. Yay, love you, Kay.
All right, and so Kay and I have a bunch of songs recorded over the past like 8 years, and this song we recorded around 2018, and he decided to put it out like 3 weeks ago. And he put another artist on the song, My Verse. She's based out of Florida. Hey, My Verse. And she's a fire MC. Like, her listen, you got to go to her Instagram. She can improvise. She's dope. Her lyrics on this song are on another level. And even Kay admitted, he was like, I had my verse written, but when she said her verse, I had to step my game up. And I love this song. I love this song. And people are coining it the new Puerto Rican
theme song. Yeah, well, we need one. You know, I was saying this to you off air, but I'm going to say it on air. We need a new one, okay? I mean, there's nothing wrong with you.
No,
more variety.
We'll mix them together. We'll mix them together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're premiering this weekend, right?
Yeah, the song's only been out for 3 weeks. It's gotten great traction, and we're gonna perform it at the Puerto Rican Day Parade after party at Bistro here in the Bronx. And it's a brunch that DJ Ted Smooth is putting together, or has put together with DJ Lucho and DJ J Boogie. And my verse Kay and I are gonna perform the song for the first time.
In person.
In person.
En vivo.
En vivo y directo.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so delicious.
Yes.
And you're right, the track sounds hot, and it definitely sounds like it's going to be one of our alternative themes, right?
Add it to the bunch. Hay espacio para todos.
Exactly.
Add it to the rotation.
And today we're going to get a taste of you.
Y dicen que.
Y dicen que. All right, you guys, mi gente, Miss YaYa, don't go anywhere, because when Miss YaYa returns, she's going to perform Y dicen que after the break, and you definitely don't want to miss. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open Here Now to perform Y dicen que. Let's give it up for Miss YaYa.
Y dicen que murió, que se murió, murió. Y dicen que murió, dicen que la salsa se murió, que murió, murió. Que se murió, murió. Y dicen que murió, dicen que la salsa se murió. ¿Cómo vienes a decirme a mí que esto ya no se baila, que el son ya no se goza y que el guaguancó no está de moda? ¿Cómo te atreves a decirme a mí que no tengo derecho a cantarla? Pues se lo siento aquí en mi alma. Cuando lo escucho mi cuerpo baila, que baila. Hay que darle espacio a la nueva generación. Ustedes dieron el ejemplo. Esto sigue y va creciendo. Quizás le tienes miedo a la nueva generación. Eso yo no lo entiendo. Si hay espacio para todo el pueblo. ¿Cómo? Dicen que la salsa se murió. Se murió, murió. Y dicen que murió, dicen que la salsa se murió. ¿Dónde están los salseros? ¿Qué dice? ¿Cómo es? Eso, Nico, dale, dale. Break it down, it's work, come on, hey. Move however you want. Samba. Come on. Hay que darle espacio a la nueva generación. Ustedes dieron el ejemplo. Esto sigue y va creciendo. Quizás le tienes miedo a la nueva generación. Eso yo no lo entiendo. Si hay espacio para todo el pueblo. ¿Cómo? La salsa vive. La salsa vive. La salsa vive. En la voz de la gran Celia, la guarachera perfecta, el repique del timbal, Tito Puente rompe los cueros en ti y en mí, y en los que están en el cielo. Prepárate para lo que viene. Ahora dale con él y después con él. Si no te estás moviendo, quizás el muerto eres tú. La salsa vive, que vive. Lo están bailando. Mira esa muchacha. Muévelo
I saw you guys dancing.
Yes.
I saw you.
Yes, Miss YaYa, everyone. La salsa vive.
Eso!
Woo! Yes. Yes. Y dicen que I'm out of breath because I was dancing on the sidelines.
I should have called you guys over. Now you guys got those moves over there.
Oh my gosh, all right, mira, y dicen que, and Yo Soy Boricua with K7 featuring my verse and Miss YaYa are out on all streaming platforms. And once again, YaYa will be performing at the Freestyle Brunch and Puerto Rican Day Parade after party, which is set to take place Sunday, June 8th at Bistros, which is located at 135 Alexander Boulevard in the Bronx. And for more information on Miss YaYa, you can go to her Instagram at _Miss YaYa. I am so catching my breath because I was
She was
in there.
dancing.
I was in there.
Oh man, I should have brought you guys over.
All good. We'll close out like that. All right, you guys, that's our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out this episode throughout the weekend, 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Que viva Puerto Rico, and happy Pride. Woo, la salsa vive.
Murió, que se murió, murió. Dicen que murió, que murió.